Hello everyone, welcome along to Aidans Railways. Have we stopped laughing now?
No.
Right. As promised in the previous video, we're going to look at some of the Thomas and Friends stuff that we've got, which is either Hornby or Bachmann, and there may be some other items in there as well. Whether or not they're ones you can purchase or we've made ourselves, or kit bashed, things like that. But we're not going to go into too much detail with every single item. It's more of a case of let's see what we've got and get your opinion on what your favourites and that. But this is just going to be locomotives, characters, that sort of thing. We'll do the next video will be all about the rolling stock and stuff like that, because there's just too much. Right.
I had to do that all the
And they're in no particular order, are they? Because they're in the tub and we're going to get them out one at a time, so they're in no particular order. So it's a bit like a tombola, right? Okay. It's what comes out first. Okay, so what we got here?
A diesel, I think. Yep, it's diesel.
It's diesel, and this is actually a very old diesel. This isn't one of the newer ones. You can see by the face, especially by the colour of his face, and quite apt for the moment, because what do coughs and sneezels make?
Diseasels.
Diseasels. Yeah, quite apt for the moment. So we've got Devious Diesel there with a sort of child catcher face about him. If you don't know what the child catcher is, Katie, that's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, isn't it?
I recognise that. It's like a song or something.
The child catcher.
That does not look like Diesel's
But that was second hand. I think that's going back to about 2008. Might even be 2007 when we got that one. So we'll wrap that one back up.
Yeah. Don't want to get it broken.
Wrong.
I wonder what the next one's going to be.
I think we'll stick with the theme. I think we'll stick with the theme. There's two here.
Oh no. I know them ones. I've got the names though.
Alright, so we got, and I'm going to see if it's actually written on.
Is it Harry and Beth?
Yeah. What we got here is, we've got two more diseasels.
Oh no. There's a trend going on.
So, one's Harry, one's Bert. Now I'm trying to establish this. I have got a catalogue. I've got lots of catalogues lying around.
No,
I can't remember which one's which now.
I think that one's Harry because Harry's better. Harry's always like.
But they are basically they are Devious Diesel with different faces. Basically, that's all they are. I don't know which one I prefer. I remember we had. I'm trying to think now. We had one for a long time, since about 2013, and getting the other one for a sensible price, it took a long time.
Yeah.
Neither of them were new, which is why they're not boxed.
Yeah,
but they are really well looked after. There they are.
I like the
very
diesels.
shocked. Now I have actually bought two more of these 08 shunters, just the railroad ones, with the actual intention of building, I think it's Paxton and Sydney. Yeah. I think originally it was going to be Splatter and Dodge.
Oh yeah, you were going to make Splatter and Dodge.
But Splatter and Dodge, I don't know. They're not. I don't find them that interesting.
You don't see them in all the episodes too. Like they're not in very many episodes.
No.
I mean, Aidan have watched.
They sort of Splatter and Dodge appeared, didn't they? But Harry and Bert weren't around, so I've got a horrible feeling they're a bit like the same character. They've just been sort of recycled.
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
Yeah.
Not a diesel.
Oh no.
And it's boxed.
Oh no, where's his twin?
But it was second hand. So very well looked after. We got Ben.
Oh.
Oh, we'll get him out. I don't want to spend too much time on each one, but
his twin has lost itself.
So we got Ben. Now I did do a video on Ben a long time ago, and Bill.
Is Ben like a train?
He is. There is actually two of these still in existence.
I always thought Bill and Ben were diesels. I don't know why.
No, there is actually two of these in existence in real life that I'm aware of anyway. But they're not painted in those colours. They're in a green colour, I think now. I might be wrong. That's Bill, and I'm just seeing out the corner of my eye.
No, that's Ben. That's Bill.
Oh, right, that's Ben. That's Bill.
At least these ones have.
I'm not having you on. That is both of them. But if you look, I can't see the difference in their faces.
Nope. There's literally only the little plate that says Bill and Ben. That's gonna.
I mean, I think Bill's face is a bit
Dark.
dirtier and darker.
Yeah.
But that could be because one's in a box and one isn't.
True.
Right, I don't know. But Bill hasn't got his front coupling.
Ben does.
Ben has. But I can screw another coupling back on. It's just literally been removed. But it's never bothered us.
Yeah, he doesn't like shunt anything, does he?
I'm just trying to think there. Who goes in the box? Ben goes in the box.
Yeah, Ben goes.
That might explain why Ben's face is a bit cleaner. So we got Bill and Ben. Bill and Ben, the naughty ones.
Yeah, they're mischievous.
They're mischievous. They cause
Cause confusion and delay.
confusion and delay.
Yeah.
Confusion and delay. Do you cause confusion and delay?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I can tell everyone that is true. Katie has a habit of causing quite a lot of confusion and delay. So there's Bill and Ben.
I have no clue who that is.
Nah, this is one of my favourites.
Oh, it's Stephanie.
It's Stepney.
Yeah, I didn't even say the name. I just recognised it straight away.
Now, I think we've had this one. This one, I'm pretty sure I bought in about 2007.
Is Stephanie in the little railway or like the bigger railway?
From the Bluebell Railway.
We've been there, I think.
Yeah, we have, but it's been a while since we've been there.
Yeah.
But I used to see Stepney all the time, almost every year when I was a child, when we used to go to the Bluebell Railway.
I've been there a few times, haven't I?
I don't think Stepney has his painted face on him anymore, which he used to have all the time,
that's sad.
as when I was a child. So Stepney means a lot to me because I got to see the real Stepney in real life almost every year when I was a kid. So unfortunately this one is second hand and he's a great runner because I've had him on videos before, but he doesn't have a box, so he has to be looked after quite well.
Yeah, the ones that have boxes are a lot cleaner, like Bill and Ben.
Yeah. Now, this isn't always Hornby.
No.
This isn't always Hornby.
I'm going to get a Bachmann on now.
Ah, well, this is what's at the top. Now, wait.
Oh, no.
If you know anything about these, or anything about the Thomas and Friends stuff between Bachmann and Hornby, some of the Hornby stuff is ridiculously priced now, and I won't entertain that. So, Aidan wanted one. He wanted, well, he still does. He still would like a Hornby one, but there's no way I'm pulling out the money for one of them. So I came to a compromise. Trying to think now.
I remember when you got this one.
This has got to be 2015, 2016, something like that.
I think it was around then because I was like quite young when you got it.
The compromise was I got the Bachmann Spencer. Yeah, so the Bachmann Spencer.
Spencer's looking at me right now.
And to tell you the truth, if it wasn't for the fact that his front is absolutely nothing like an A4,
Yeah.
right? It's absolutely nothing like an A4. If it wasn't for that, it isn't a bad model because it's the wheels are quite. The wheel set's quite nice.
Some of them that have like bigger than smaller and smaller, they just don't look nice.
And there's absolutely no detail in that cab. There's nothing. You can get people in it, but there's absolutely no detail in it. And the only thing going for it is the fact that its eyes go back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of the Bachmann do.
But it's not a bad one. I like it. It can't really pull much. I'll give it that, which is probably just as well.
I like Spencer.
Because of the rolling stock I got for it. So there's Spencer, and you've got to be careful. Try and keep this packaging. If you get one of these, try and keep the packaging as well as you can, because obviously they're not boxed. So we've got Spencer there.
Do you want to put it here?
Yeah, I'll put it down there. Here's an interesting one, back to Hornby.
Oh.
It's Bertie the bus. Now Bertie the bus, although made by Hornby, I don't think was ever really intended. It's even got its instruction manual because it was brand new when I got this.
I really like Bertie the bus.
Bertie the bus is not scale, but I don't think it was actually intended for use.
Get it out?
Yeah, for use on the ordinary 00 railway. Because he takes batteries. There he is.
Bertie's a really nice bus. Like I like how it's on the railway and stuff. And when you see him with Thomas, it's really.
Well, because he's one of the original characters, isn't he?
Yeah.
But although he's very nice and he's nice to have in the background, I think the actual truth comes down to, and I've just dug this out. I remember these sets. I mean, when's this catalogue from? This catalogue, 1995.
Wow.
I remember these sets. And if you have a look on there, you'll see Bertie, and it's plastic track. So if you switch Bertie on, he will just keep on driving forwards in a straight line.
Yeah, it's not like he turns or anything.
But if you have it on that plastic track, it'll just guide itself around the track, and it's very similar to the Trackmaster. It's very similar to that.
I do really like Bertie.
That actually might not be a bad idea. We might have to try that out on Aidan's Trackmaster track, because that would probably work.
Because Aidan has a lot of Trackmaster tracks.
But I remember I bought it purely because they were becoming quite few and far between, and that was back in about 2007. And I figured it would be nice to have. But we've got Bertie there. Maybe it might work on Aidan's Trackmaster track. So you could have a road. You could have a road. Could have a road with it.
Yeah, a little bit of a road.
Right. Here's one that I know a lot of people are excited about.
I'm excited about this one.
Well, since the video went up the other day when we said we were going to do this, I've already had people asking about this one actually coming out. Now, I had to make a box up for this one, but there's our flying Scotsman.
We've got Gordon's brother there.
Yeah.
Gordon has a brother.
And if you didn't see the video on how to do this, I'll put a link up in the air, and you can see that. There's his tender, and that's our makeshift box. So, I love this one. He's even got his crew inside still.
I like the how my dad sorted out the face, because it looks really good on it.
And we've got the smoke deflectors on it as well.
Oh yeah, we do have them.
But I do know a lot of people, that's a lot of people's favourite, that one. I know that, see, obviously Hornby did do Flying Scotsman, but similarly to the Spencer, ridiculous money.
I like in the episode where it's Gordon's brother, and he comes to the railway.
Are you on about the original book series?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I preferred that, and he obviously didn't have smoke deflectors back then.
No, he didn't.
And his tender, his second tender, was completely wrong. So if you ever have a look at the artwork on those original books, his second tender is exactly the same as his first tender, just has his numbers on. It's still got a coal load in that. Now, I hate to think how they imagined the fireman was going to walk between the two tenders and carry a shovel of coal.
That would be very annoying.
Because Flying Scotsman's real second tender, and I mean real second tender, the actual body for it without the chassis used to be at Tamfield Railway. So I've walked through that, because it used to just be dumped on a bit of land, and it was still in the blue and grey with Flying Scotsman Enterprises or Services written on the side. I'm sure I've got photos somewhere of that. When I was a kid, I used to walk through one corridor to the other corridor down the side, and there is no way the fireman would have been able to get a shovel of coal from the second tender and walk through the corridor to the engine. So when they did that drawing, whoever did the drawing did it completely wrong. Next one, who are we going to go for? Who is it?
Rosie. We didn't get this very long ago, did we?
We've had it a year or more now. We've had it a year or more now, and I wanted to get it a lot. I wanted to get it when it first came out, but love Rosie. Always love Rosie from the original series on the television. The only reason I suddenly rushed to get this though in the last year was when they released the new coloured Rosie.
No.
Don't know. Not into that.
No.
There'll be people who grow up only ever knowing Rosie in red with NWR on it for your North Western Railway, but that is what Rosie looked like originally. So
that is Rosie.
that's how we see Rosie. That's how we want to keep Rosie. We don't want to see Rosie in red.
The red one I just call the fake Rosie.
It's just
like it.
Yeah, it's another Americanization thing since it left the UK and it's gone CGI and all that. I'm not a huge lover of the CGI.
No, they've took characters out too.
Yeah, I prefer. And the original series didn't have trains bouncing on and off track and things like that. So Thomas has become really out there and nothing like what it was intended.
The new Thomas series, I just don't like it.
No, we prefer the original. We've got all the original ones on DVD. But Rosie, now I actually had to make a Rosie before we had this one, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly right, but it was the best I could do at the time. But I'm glad we have got Rosie now, and it's a lovely.
When he did make the one that he made, I was really happy because Rosie's one of my favourite characters.
So next out of the Tombola of Doom.
Well, it's not really Doom, but.
Here we go. Who's that?
Oliver.
Oliver. Now this is the Bachmann Oliver, and Hornby did make an Oliver. There he is. That's the Hornby one. Very nice as well. But like so many other of the Hornby ones that were particularly rare to get away, not rare, they've become a collector's piece now. They're going for silly money. Now, to be honest, I was very tempted to make an Oliver, but I purchased a Bachmann one.
It is a very.
And apart from the fact you can't get into the cab because it's solid, right? I wasn't too upset with him. I thought, well, he's got a little lamp there. His eyes go back and forth. He does pick up the essence of what Oliver was in the television series.
I don't really see Oliver all the time in the TV series.
No, he's not a bad one. He's not a bad one, which is why I didn't mind it. Once we got him, I said, well, we'll just keep it with him because he's not a bad loco. So we got Oliver there.
Yeah.
Move on to the next one. So
we've gotten this.
Donald. Let's take Donald out.
Twins,
one of the Scottish twins.
Scottish. This is number 9.
Number 9. Donald.
Douglas is number 10, I'm thinking.
Yeah. In fact, let's just bring Douglas because he's right next to him on the tub there.
That's nice.
Let's have a look. Try and not break anything.
Yeah, we've got a Donald and Douglas.
So we got both Donald and Douglas. I think we got these about 3-4 years ago.
I don't remember getting these. I don't know why.
Well, these ones are technically Aidan's because I think if I remember rightly, I got in both Donald and Douglas, and they are. Let's pop one out. I don't really. There we go. Let's pop Donald out a second.
I love Donald and Douglas too.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And you do see Donald
I think
and Douglas.
I'm going to say this again. I said it inside in that video I did on these two. Hornby, you really messed up when you had the licensing for this. You could have made these two. You pretty much, to a degree, you had the tooling for that. You could have. They would have been brilliant as Hornby models.
Yeah. But again, these do have moving eyes, don't they?
Well, we've got the moving eyes on them,
A lot
and
of
they're
them
reasonably
have them.
good. But I remember Aidan got those for a birthday a few years back. So now here's another one of your favourites.
This is definitely one of my favourites. Like, I really like Emily.
So hold on, we've got Emily, but Emily or Rosie?
Emily, then Rosie.
So Rosie's second best.
Yeah.
Right. So now back to the pictures.
Oh, we've got Emily now.
I know. There you go. You'll all know. There's your Hornby Emily, which does look very, very nice. I did always fancy getting one of those. Painful truth is, looks nothing like Emily, loco-wise, on the Thomas series. The Hornby one was just basically recycling some old tooling that they had, right? You know what I
I
mean?
have a feeling if Dad had got that one, me and Aidan would have noticed straight away that's not the real one.
At least, well, this is it. At least with the Bachmann one, we've got the moving eyes and all. It actually does sort of give that sterling single. It does have that.
If it didn't have the face, I would definitely know that's Rosie. Emily.
Because obviously we've got the single driving wheel, but with the rod and the outside cylinders. Obviously, you cannot do anything with the cabs on these Bachmann ones. I wish Bachmann would sort that out. But otherwise, it's a lovely loco, and it does look like Rosie. That's the difference.
Rosie, it's Emily.
Rosie, Emily. Because we're
Me
talking
and
about Rosie and Emily together at the same time.
Because they're both my favourite.
But that is a really nice one. That is nice. It does. It's not very strong.
No.
That's the only downside to this.
We have tried to do quite a lot of coaches on it. And
Yeah, you can't do it because it only has one single drive wheel. It's just there's no strength there. There's no magnesium. There's nothing
I think
like
there's
that.
3 to 4
Yeah.
that we could get onto it. And as soon as we put like the 5th, I think it was, then it just wouldn't. It moved, but it was like really slow and
So,
it was struggling.
Bear that in mind once we've done the rolling stock videos. If you put a request in, if it's got anything more than 2 to 3, we won't do it because I know that Emily will not pull it.
No.
She certainly won't go up and down hills very well. So
Yeah, if you had a hill on our railway and we tried to get Emily up with even 2 coaches, I don't think it would work very well. I think she would struggle quite a bit.
right, next up.
I do not know.
Oh, I can see what it is.
Let's see.
It's mystery.
Who do I think?
Who do you think it's going to be? Because I've covered it up so you can't see who it is.
I think it might be Percy.
No.
I don't know. It's either Percy or I forgot the name.
Oh, that's not good. That's not going to go as that's not going to go as. Oh, that's the one I meant. Because that's not going to work.
I don't remember
Give up?
the name. Yeah.
Right, give up. Right. I wasn't going to buy this one. I was actually going to buy the Bachmann one. And worked out what it is yet?
No.
Because I was going to buy the Bachmann one. And there's a good reason why.
It's Toby's.
There we go.
Because I know the Bachmann one, like, I think like,
this one's actually,
are a bit taller.
it's boxed, it's even got its destructions. Right.
Oh my god, I got that at the last second.
I was not going to buy this. I mean, it is lovely. And it's exactly how I remember it when I was a kid. Right. I mean, you can't get in there or anything. It's actually got an incredibly good motor setup and things like that inside it. But it is hugely oversized.
If you got a tunnel and put Toby there, he wouldn't go for it.
He probably won't go in it. And the same will go
so
for sheds. He's going to be, it'll be really close with the sheds.
Dad will have to build a quite tall shed.
It's hugely oversized.
But
it's a lovely model.
Really,
it's a lovely model.
Yeah,
but it's
really
hugely oversized. Now, the Bachmann one is better produced, sort of,
size-wise.
in relation to its scale.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be really, really good, you could get a rail model and then actually build your own tram of Toby. But the story behind this one is Mick, at Durham Trains to Stanley, had 2 of these in. One had been fitted with DCC. This one hadn't. And I asked him very kindly what he wanted for it. before it even got onto the shelf. And I think it was just over 40 quid, if I remember rightly, which was the reason why I bought it. If it had been much more than that, I probably would have said no, because the Bachmann Toby's only about £40, £50 these days. So the only reason I bought it was because it was at the right price. It was boxed, and it was, in fact, I think the one that was DCC chipped wasn't even boxed. Right,
I really like Toby too. Like, Toby's a really good, like, is he an engine?
He is, he's steamy.
Yeah.
That's what confuses a lot of people.
Yeah.
He is a steamy. He's a steam tram. So, there we go.
Isn't this a Beamish?
Not that one, no. No. But you can see a mock-up one with a diesel engine in it on the Walsingham Light Railway down at Wells next to the sea. They've made a one on 10.25 inch gauge. That looks quite nice. Look it up on the internet. Here we go. Next.
Percy.
We got Percy. And he's snuck in some rolling stock as well. So this one's back from about 2007 at least, I think.
I thought Percy was a girl for quite a long time, but Aidan keeps correcting me, and he started telling me off because I keep thinking it was a girl.
There we go. There's Percy. Now, I had a Percy when I was a kid.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was really fast. I'm just having a look here. Yes, this has got the plastic chassis. It's the same chassis that you'd see on the little 040 tanks that you see on the little train sets, but this one has the plastic chassis, which makes it incredibly light, and when you use it, it flies around at high speed.
Yeah,
and that's why my Percy that I had when I was a kid had to be glued together 3 or 4 times because it kept shooting off the track.
I would never touch it because I could not control the speed of them, because I've tried to before and it nearly flew off the track.
Yeah, and that's what we try to avoid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get the trucks out.
No.
Because this isn't the rolling stock video.
No.
So we got Percy there. Little pocket rocket. And I'm sure that was 2007 when we got that one, because
It's definitely around that
I think it was around that way. You weren't even born.
I know, that's why I'm saying it's
But
around that time, because I know.
the reason I say that is because I'm pretty sure it was one of the last things I ever bought from Jadland Racing. So that's why I can remember it. Another small logo.
I do not have a clue who that is. Duck.
It's Duck. Montague. And look at how vintage and old that packaging is. Look at the price. £15. You would be lucky to catch one for 15 quid now.
Wow. And this is one of the older models.
This is one of the. This is when I was a kid and I got my Thomas. He came in a box like that one from Beatty's Model Store.
I've never heard of that store.
Yeah, because it doesn't exist anymore, right? That's why. And they were all over the country. And I think mine came from Newcastle Elven Square, number 8.
Yeah.
So he's even got the older, darker face, the green plastic, and it is the plastic that is that green. It hasn't been painted that green, it is that green. Shares the same chassis and wheel set as Devious Diesel, Harry and Bert, and Thomas.
Ooh.
So it's the same chassis on all of them. But
I
we
do
got
like
Duck.
that.
We got Duck.
We took Duck out quite a lot of times, and I've not recognised him because I don't usually see him that much in the episodes and the bigs. What have you found?
No, I just saw another price tag inside it from probably from when it was originally bought. But there's Duck. Oh, they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. So this is a much newer purchase.
Is that oh,
It's written on the side.
Where?
Yeah.
Edward.
There we
I
go.
always forget Edward's name. I'll get it mixed up with Gordon because they're the same coloured blue.
This is see now.
Oh no, I've got that wrong.
No, see now it meant to be the same colour blue. This is the much more recent Edward, right? The one of the last ones. In fact, when Hornby, I think it was 2017, 2018, I can't remember now, decided to rerun them all. This is one of them. And I remember pre-ordering it with Hornby, along with another loco that we didn't have at the time. And it's great, it's DCC ready. I'll take it out of the box, but I'm not taking it out of the packaging.
Yeah.
Alright, it's DCC ready. His face is covered up. Beautiful, runs like a dream, he's so smooth. But, I hate to say this, that is the wrong colour blue. And everyone can argue with me all they want. That is not the blue that they used to come in. The blue was much darker.
I can't really tell the blue and blue.
Because the earlier Thomases were darker, the earlier Gordons were darker, the earlier Edwards were darker. And then they produced this, and the new Gordon was exactly the same. The newer Gordon was just really bright. But I chose to stick with it. I haven't chose to replace it with an older model because it really does.
It's a really good model anyways, so it's not that.
Well, it's the made in China one. It's DCC ready, so if I ever wanted to just quickly put a DCC chip in it, I can. So we got Edward there. And at the same time as I got Edward,
James.
I got James.
This
Now,
is also one that I thought was a girl for a while.
his red is, well, I don't know how, James, I've never heard of a girl called James. His red is a little lighter, but it's not that far off. It's not that far off, which is why I can live with that. I can live with it.
I can say that that's a little bit lighter than the one upstairs, Aidan's.
Yeah. You see? There's his face with his big nose, because he has got a big round nose as James. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, he does.
So this is the, if I remember rightly, yeah, it's Loco Drive, DCC ready.
This one is number 5.
DCC ready. That was one of the much later ones I pre-ordered when Hornby suddenly, after ages of not producing them, decided they were going to do a last sort of run of Thomas, and then they've since, as you already all know, didn't bother to renew the licensing, and they've pretty much just handed it to Bachmann. But
That is very sad though.
I just sincerely hope that Bachmann do a good job of releasing them in the UK. I understand they're going to make the UK versions, or the European versions, DCC ready as well. Unlike the ones that we've got of Bachmann, which are American imports.
Yeah.
I just hope they do a proper job with them, because it would be terrible to think that.
I was very sad when my dad told me that Hornby wasn't.
Yeah, because Hornby's always done them, so.
Because I love Thomas and Friends, it's one of my favourite.
That wasn't a big engine, right?
No.
But we're going to go for a really tiny engine now.
I'm trying to think, is it?
So hold on. It's written on the box anyway.
Oh, it is.
Right. But you're saying Emily is your favourite more than Rosie. So where does this one come?
Now then, the
It's Scarlowy.
He's definitely not my favourite from the Little Whale.
009.
The next one that Dad might be taking out, that one is definitely my favourite.
009.
This is an Arrogate railway now.
This is a US import as well.
This
is to give you an idea of just how tiny that engine is.
Even on my hand, that one is small.
At least you can get in the cab. That is metal. That logo is metal. It's not plastic and cheap. Face is lovely. And they run perfectly. The wheels are absolutely tiny.
Oh, and this is Scarlowy.
And this is Scarlowy. So the Scarlowy Railway. I'm sure there'll be a few people out there who've already got that.
They've got some new ones, Bachmann, haven't they?
Yeah.
Some new.
Rusty's out now. We haven't got Rusty yet. No. We want to get Rusty.
Yes.
But it's not cheap. And obviously other things have to be paid, bills and all that sort of thing. But we would like to get Rusty. I think they're going to release Peter Sam.
Yeah, you said that it was Peter Sam.
But he hasn't even been released in the US yet, so it's going to be a while for that to come out. While we're on that 009,
Yeah, it's got Renee's.
Renee's.
Renee's is my favourite. I love Renee's.
You like Renee's better than Scarlowy?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Here we go. It's Renee's.
I
And this
like-
isn't a toy, remember that, right?
No, this is not a toy.
Pay attention, people. Look what it says on the box. 14 plus.
And this is
You
really-
can't touch it.
Yes, I can.
But
Anyways, when we're using the trains, my dad's always around.
absolutely beautiful. It's a completely different chassis to Scarlowy. Completely different chassis. Absolutely gorgeous.
The reason I like Renee's better is because it's like small and it just goes up and it's big, and I like that.
I love that. I
And I
love it.
like the orange colour too.
There's a lot of people buy these and take the faces off.
That's sad.
And they go into shapeways and they get a smoke box and they replace it with a smoke box door, and they'll repaint the engine, and they can build like Tallaghflin Railway. See the real.
It's still sad. Don't
I
do
know,
that to
but
poor Renee's.
I'm not doing it to Renee's.
No, you're not.
We want
It's mine.
we want to make the little railway on the railway with the big railway.
Yeah. I'm gonna really enjoy that when Dad gets into doing that.
We've got a lot of time on our hands at the moment, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Where did I put the other one? There we go. Right, next. Right,
I think
who do you think that is?
I think that's Gordon. I don't know why.
You're right,
Yay!
and I covered it up.
Probably because we've already done Edward and James.
Ah, but see, there are many more in there. There are many more in there. So this is not a really early, but it is a much earlier
I'm trying to think,
packaged.
is this number 4? Or
Yeah,
is it
it's number
five?
4. Number 4.
Yeah. And then
Number 4.
James is number 5.
You can see there, that blue is hugely different
Yeah.
to that of Edward.
Do you want to get Edward out and show
There
him?
we go. I'm not going to get him out, but look at that.
Yeah, darker,
That blue
lighter.
is hugely different.
Which one's the right one?
Well, I would have said that this one is the correct blue, Gordon.
You can definitely say that it's darker than that in the real series.
Now, Gordon shares something with Flying Scotsman other than the fact that they're brothers.
Yeah.
It's the exact same loco body and chassis
Oh yeah.
that is used when they produced the Flying Scotsman models for, well, the one that I used there. It is the exact same.
Gordon's one of the stuck-up
Same
ones,
ones.
the ones that don't really like the other engines.
He's full of himself.
Yeah.
That's
and
what you mean.
He likes that big train that he pulls.
I got this second hand 2013, 2014.
I don't know.
I remember. Because I think I won it at auction on eBay from Rails of Sheffield. It was either Rails or Hattons. I think it was Rails. I'm pretty
thinking
sure.
With,
I'm just running these wheels there, and I think he needs a service. So I wasn't wrong. When we did the video the other day, I said we were probably going to find.
some of these are going to need servicing. but
Yeah.
We haven't run them in quite a while.
However,
The tender.
that tender is the same tender
It's Edward.
that Edward has and James, and it's not the tender you would have seen behind Flying Scotsman.
No.
Alright? But that's how it worked out on Thomas. That's how it worked out. But this is the Ringfield one. Tender drive.
Me and Aidan were really surprised when we found out Flying Scotsman and Gordon were brothers, because we never really thought of them being brothers. So.
Still got the lamp irons in the packet.
Oh yeah.
So there's Gordon. There's Gordon. There's people asking themselves now, if anyone's still watching, and I hope you are, they're probably asking themselves now, or they've already started to make a list, compiling a list probably, of which ones they want to see running with what. Right, let's have a look. What's this? Try and work out this one.
It's one of the bigger ones, so I'm trying to think of a bigger train. But I don't think it's a bigger train at the same time, because most of the boxes
It's
are
a big box. Give up?
No.
Wait, you need to hurry up because people are watching and they're going.
I think it's Diesel 10 for some reason, but we don't have one.
Because Hornby's never made Diesel 10.
Oh yeah, it's a Hornby box.
Right, and neither have Bachmann. Admittedly, but Diesel 10 is on the list of items that I'm going to make, because I already have the donor vehicle.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah. What's this one?
I don't know.
Right, you give up.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, because we've got to keep moving on.
Okay.
Right.
Sad. I bet you're going to
You were halfway there. It is a diesel. It's not a steamy.
Oh.
Now, open to discussion this.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, where I say there we go. On here, it refers to him as Diesel D7101. Now, some people will refer to him as Bear, right?
Oh.
Ah,
now
yeah,
I remember.
no, there's the problem. Separately fitted handrails as well. Aidan will not refer to this as Bear.
No, you won't.
He will refer to it as D7101. He studies the books a lot better than I do. Obviously, Bear in the books was in BR two-tone green, to which we actually have one of them, and it's getting ready for conversion.
This is like a blue.
Yeah, it's BR blue, but this does have sprung buffers as well. So Hornby were really going out there at this point. However, this has been nicknamed Highmech now. So it's been given its own name, Highmech, because Aidan, and as you should know from the actual picture in the corner, is in the autistic spectrum, hence the emblem we've got for the channel. We will not refer to this as Bear. And there's a lot of debate out there and things like that, but as far as we're concerned, this is Bear's brother. That's what we're going to refer to it. And he's got called Highmech, right?
Yeah.
Or D7101.
As soon as Dad said Bear, I remember this.
And I'm imagining that the comment section is going to get lit up by people who know everything about this, but it makes no difference. As far as we're concerned, he's called Highmech.
Is this?
He's a Highmech.
He's
He's a diesel hydraulic.
Yeah.
And there was lots of them. But Bear, that was second hand, or Highmech was second hand, in great condition, as you can see.
The ones that don't have a face.
He does have a face.
No, on there.
What?
Where's his face gone?
His face is on one side.
Oh, I thought it was on both sides.
No, because not many people look out of their backside. There's a lot of
So
people
strange.
talk out of it, but there isn't a lot of people look out of it. Right,
Okay.
who do you think this one is?
Oh my god, why are you all big boxes now?
This is a big box.
I don't know.
Everyone on there is screaming out. You got all these Thomas and Friends trains. Where's Thomas? It's not Thomas.
It's Henry.
I think it might be Henry. Now this is interesting, this one. Okay.
I might have just cheated by looking at that.
Yeah, but you might have cheated looking at that, but it still wasn't one on the box. It's Henry.
It's number
It's an older
3.
Henry.
Is it number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you looked on the box.
No, I can't.
You looked in the
even see that.
catalogue. It's
I
on the
can't
engine.
Yeah.
If you have a look at that, everyone, you'll see that that is not the box for Henry. Henry was purchased second hand. That is the box for Spencer. So somebody,
You were talking about
yeah,
that.
when I bought this second hand off eBay on the internet back in 2007, and this is the Ringfield one, so the front's free running. There's nothing wrong with it, lovely logo, but I would imagine when they came to sell Spencer, they'd have had trouble getting Spencer into Henry's packaging, because it is the complete wrong shape. It's amazing.
How different the packaging is.
Look at this Bachmann, look. At least it had detail. It might not have been painted, but it was detailed in the car.
Dad's very happy about that.
Yeah, but it's it doesn't take away from the model, but it's a lovely model. Black 5. Black 5.
Without even looking at that, I knew there was one of the engines that was missing. That's why I looked at that, because I was like, there's got to be one there.
That's got a nice solid cast chassis on that one. It's got some good weight to it. So, ooh,
Is this metal?
ooh.
What's Dad found out now?
Traction tyres definitely need replacing on that. It don't. It'll still run, but they definitely need replacing. So we got Henry there. Henry there. Who do you think's next?
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue?
I'm going to try to think.
I'll tell you what it is. I think there's still some more missing out of here.
I'm trying to think.
There are more, because I can think of at least a couple more projects that I'm making. Who's in that one?
Why is there so many big boxes?
There's no big box. 3 seconds. 3, 2. No.
It's Diesel's friend.
Yeah.
Diesel has one of them friends that he bosses around, and I forgot his name.
Diesel doesn't have any friends because he's so nasty.
Well, it wasn't his friend. It was like somebody he bullied pretty much. I don't even know if we have
Another second-hand purchase.
Who's this?
D261. So,
Okay.
something that's not quite right with this is because I'm pretty sure this is meant to be a class 40 and not a 37. Alright? Now, we call them stuck up. Like, or rather, Aidan calls them stuck up, old stuck up.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people go, away, it's Bowler. Bowler was blue, I'm sure he was.
He was.
Which is why I'm looking in this box and I'm going, there's some missing, because there are other vehicles that I have purchased. It's lovely. There are other vehicles. If you see that face is correct to the model series Thomas and Friends where D261 appeared, right? It's the wrong locomotive. The locomotive used on that had more wheels. It's not the right locomotive, but we'll let Hornby off because it's a very good.
Behind us now?
Hello, everyone.
We've got a visitor.
We can see the cat has come to visit.
Yeah, see what we're doing.
Here we go. Right now, this isn't. Well, it's a project. It's not unfinished. It hasn't even started yet. Dome Trains of Stanley went in there one day. Somebody had actually already kit bashed 2 Triang a DMU and put it together. Painted. It's not the right colour, obviously, for Daisy, but it's not even the chassis off that DMU. That is actually a Lima chassis off a completely different locomotive. Cut and shut in there. It works. So this is just waiting to be stripped down and completely repainted and face and things applied to make Daisy. So that is on the list. You'll remember this. I'm not going to take it out of the box. We have our Southern Q1, right? I've done a video on that. This is another one, exactly the same. And here is our donor face to go on the front, but he has to be renumbered and he has to have his emblem removed from the tender. So there's another project that's coming up. Right. One of the projects I said when we had, I think it was D71001 or whatever it was Bear, the proper Bear. And this is actually the donor vehicle. Yeah, to make the proper Bear. So he will be receiving a face before long to make him into the proper Bear, and he will just be used alongside our other Highmech. That one's boxed. Second hand from Mick's place again, and I don't think I paid very much for him. Now, we were on about Spencer before, and the cost of a Spencer.
Yeah.
Some of them are ridiculous. I would never, unless I won the lottery, and even then I'd be grudge paying that. I'm not going to take him out of the packaging, but we're in the process
I know who that is.
of making Murdoch, and I'll just poke his face out. His face is actually fitted. He is partially painted. His lining isn't on yet, and he's only on his first coat of paint, which is why his paint looks a bit strange and doesn't match his wheels.
I do like Murdoch.
But that's a project I've been doing for a long time. I think I started that was a good few years back, but we've had other things going on, so he just keeps getting put to one side.
Yeah.
So we've got semi-made Murdoch. Murdoch will run, but he just won't look right. But he does look okay at the moment. He's just not finished.
So
right. We've actually got a couple of Thomas sets. We've got the smaller Thomas set.
And we have a larger one.
What is moving around in that box? Which is slightly worrying. Ah, nothing of any real importance. Right. Okay. But we have the two. We have the two sets. This one was one of the earlier ones. No, it's not an early one. I think it's one of the first ones we purchased. That was purchased brand new, and it's had some use. Everything's still in there. But then we've got
a very large set.
And we've got the other set. We've got another set. This one was purchased second hand. I think we'd only ever used once or twice, I think, by the previous owner. Still got all of its stuff inside. Got everything inside. But I've took the track out because I've been using it for something else. This one has got a more weathered and dirty Thomas. Now the other one's got a much more cleaner Thomas in it.
It has got some other
it's not out of the Great Distillery set because his face isn't different. And it has got some trucks in and some carriages, but we're not going to show them because this is a loco one, or rather a character one. It's not the rolling stock one. Pass that box, please. So you don't get to see them yet, because that video is probably going to take an hour as well. Hang on, go. That one will probably take an hour to make as well. I just had a quick look outside of the room briefly, and I think I put Bowler's donor vehicle into a completely different tub because of the fact that he's never actually been used or had his face transplant yet. So we'll just take it as Bowler's around. If you want to see Bowler, he won't have a face, not unless we suddenly magic a face up, which isn't impossible. It could be done. I know Aidan has got some donor vehicles upstairs waiting to have faces removed and things, but he's been making other videos, and he's not an engine. But there's our friend. We got this off Mick at Durham Trains of Stranley. I went in there and there was an old Ertl.
Do you know who this is?
It's Terence, this one.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Terence. Because Trevor's the traction engine. Terence.
Oh, yeah,
Terence usually has a big plough on the front of him. Helps Thomas get out, doesn't he? Digs him out of trouble.
I've had it a few times.
That's some of the logos for the Thomas end and things. I'm not going to dig any more out, but that was what was in that tub. We've got a number of other tubs sat over there at the moment with other characters and some custom made items in there that are finished, but you're going to have to wait for that video. So which one is your famous, wait, hold on, what's your favourite steamy in there?
Do you mean like...
Which is your favourite steamy that's big, as in standard gauge engine? On the main railway.
Emily.
Oh, just as well you said that, because otherwise I was going to ask if you wanted to phone a friend or go 50-50 or ask the audience. So Emily. Emily, then Rosie, I take it.
Yeah.
Is it because they're girls?
Maybe.
Okay. Out of the narrow gauge ones, which one was your favourite? Scarloey or Renee's? Renee's. That's in there at the minute. There are some other narrow gauge ones I'm going to make, and I've got the bits upstairs to make them. I'm not going to go into that because that's a video for another time, but there are some other ones that they haven't produced yet that I am in the process of kit bashing and things. Favourite diesel? Bearing in mind we've had, let's recap, Devious Diesel, Harry, Bert.
Yeah.
We'll say Bear without his face. Highmech, right? Old stuck up. There's Daisy that's not finished there yet. We are gonna get a Mavis.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get a Mavis. I've been meaning to get a Mavis for years. I've just never got round to it, but we are gonna get a Mavis. Bachmann, obviously. But who? Out of
Devious
these?
Diesel.
Diesel.
I like him.
Coughs and sneezels.
Make diseasels.
Yeah. He just, the face on him just looks like the child catcher out of. Yeah. He's evil. Mind, at least he's got a proper devious face. Unlike, I know Bachmann's made 2 Diesels, and the first one looked far too happy and friendly.
You should be happy that I didn't choose.
So you can get grumpy
Daisy.
Diesel now. I don't know. Daisy's nice. I mean, we'd be look even better when it's finished. But that was actually quite fine because I went in there and I was going to buy a DMU to cut up and build Daisy, and then I saw that one there and thought, I'll have that. £5. £5. Admittedly, I've got to strip the thing down now to do it, but it's £5 that I didn't have to do. So,
if I had to pick out of the main railway without Rosie and Emily, it would probably.
All right, boy character. What boy character?
Oh no.
See, boy character. So if it's not Emily or Rosie, so let's say a boy character.
My first favourite would be Thomas because I really like
Right, Thomas.
And the second favourite is Percy.
Alright.
I really like Percy.
There's people out there screaming, that flying Scotsman, that's the best one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a flying Scotsman. He's probably the second favourite then.
So, that's a look at some of the Thomas and Friends engines. Next video will be the rolling stock, and there's a lot of rolling stock.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take as long as this video because realistically a lot of that rolling stock's repeated, so we'll be able to show you how much of those items we've got on specific ones, but there's quite a lot of different ones as well. So it's a lot for you to take in. If you've managed to get to the end of this video, thank you very much. It's took longer to make it than it has been to watch it, trust me. So, time to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Press the bell notification and you'll be informed every time we upload a video. Don't forget, coming up after we do the rolling stock video, we're going to do the running session where we put all the track out. We're going to have all the trains out. We're going to put some buildings out and things like that. And what we run will be what you've asked for in the comments. So comment. Tell us what your favourites, tell us what you'd like to see running. But obviously, when you get to the rolling stock video, you'll be able to say what loco you would like to see running with what rolling stock. Because at the moment, you're not 100% sure what rolling stock we've got. So, don't forget to comment. Anyway, for now, we'll see you again next time. Bye.